4, 3, 2, 1.
Whether you've been married 1 or 20 plus years, at some point you realize you married into crazy. And that's what our show is all about. If your marriage or relationship is compassionate, real, accountable, zealous and yielding, or just plain crazy, Snooks and Lovvy offer love, laughter, and a dose of reality as they unpack this thing called marriage. Sit back, relax, and get your ear hustle on. It's time to start the conversation.
Welcome back to another episode of the Married into Crazy podcast with Snooks and Lovvy.
I'm Snooks.
And I'm Lovvy. And you could be doing a lot of different things. And we're so grateful, always grateful, that you come back to listen to another episode. For those of you that have been with us for a long time, we thank you so much for rocking with us and coming back and learning how to be a little bit more crazy, which stands for?
Compassionate, real, accountable, zealous, and yielding.
And for those of you that are new to us, we have been around as a couple for 30 years.
Get it together, bro.
But we're coming up on by the time you hear this, it will have been our pretty close, our 29th anniversary.
Ooh, I don't know where the sound effects are, but I'll do it myself. Woo!
She's all the sound effects I need, if you know what I mean. But no, and we've been rocking with each other through a lot of different things. We've had challenges throughout those 29 years, even before we got married. I ended up getting stabbed through my heart by her ex-boyfriend about a week after we even got engaged.
5 days.
So we didn't even get a chance to really get into it, to really celebrate our engagement. Mm-hmm. And we were in the ICU and multiple surgeries, 2 open heart surgeries, in order to save my life, because it did go all the way through my heart. Mm-hmm. Survive that to be able to get to the altar and say, I do. And once we said I do, you would think, just like in true Disney fashion, that everything would have been, hunky-dory. It's a nice word, hunky-dory. But everything would have been really cool at that point. But it wasn't that. Though we did have some great moments. Year 4, somebody who shall go unnamed asked for a divorce.
Well, there's only 2 people in the marriage.
And it wasn't me.
Yeah, I told him I wanted a divorce. At Morton's Steakhouse in the middle of, what do you like to say, this cream spinach, which we don't eat. But anyway, I told him I wanted a divorce. And obviously we didn't get divorced, because here we are, 29 years later. 25 years after that. Wow.
Isn't that
crazy?
crazy?
It's the 25th anniversary of the thing.
Okay, I'm not celebrating that. I'm not going to celebrate that. Wow. So this is us. This is us on a daily basis. This is what we do. But even at that point, I had to make a decision. I had to figure out, okay, what's going on? Well, first off, the decision was, if she don't want me, I'm out. But a lot of things transpired. We're not going to go into it right now. You can always go back and listen to Winter is Coming, which is one of our very earliest podcasts, some 300 some odd episodes ago, and listen to that. But bottom line is, we had to work through it. We had to go through coaching, counseling. We bought books and videos, and all of which I didn't read or look at. But we had to go through some stuff. And then ultimately, we found our way back to each other, with the grace of God. And in that entire process, we realized that we needed to become that couple that we needed when we were going through it for other couples. And so that's how Married into Crazy came about. So that way we can be more compassionate, real, accountable, zealous, and yielding. Those are the 5 pillars upon which we teach all the couples that we work with. And we've worked with people in North America, over in Europe. That's pretty much it. North America, in Canada, United States, across the U.S., as well as over in Europe as well. And in doing that, those 5 pillars crossed over with some of the Gottman methods that we've learned, being level 1 and level 2 Gottman couples therapy certified. We ended up getting that, I should say trained, and in combining all of that along with our experiences, and we pour it into our podcast, and we pour it into a variety of different things that we do. The coaching. We have a book about how what we went through when we lost our son. So there's different things that we do in order to elevate marriage.
So I gotta love my husband. Y'all gotta love my husband. He jumps right in. I wanted to be like, happy holidays. How was everybody's Christmas? We got New Year's coming up. What y'all got going on? And just kind of, Lovvy just was like, this is what it is.
True to form. A lot of times I'll sit there and text somebody like first thing in the morning. Hey, did you take care of da 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 da?
Oh my God.
And then I'm like, ooh, oh, good morning. Hi. Sorry.
That's how we live. That is our life. And he is not joking around about that. Yes.
Yeah. Bullet point, straight to the point. So, hey, how was your holidays?
Anyway.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Happy Kwanzaa.
Happy Kwanzaa.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. So our Christmas was scaled down, but also it was very different because Lovvy was sick and he could not participate in the Christmas festivities with my family. I don't know if that's a real, I think it was kind of.
It took me 29 years to figure out all I got to do is say I'm
Just
sick.
Be sick and stay upstairs. No, but then he got me. I'm fighting this germs that he tried to give me. So I'm gonna make sure that I don't have to spend my New Year's in the bed.
Like many of you across the U.S., I know that we're listened to in about 30 different countries, but many of you across the U.S., so many individuals have been affected by this cold and these different strains of the flu. So we hope everybody's being safe and that you're staying hydrated and getting the care that you need. Mm-hmm. But before we get into it, so we got some stuff we're going to talk about.
I know, but I just want to say something right quick. I'm so sorry. So my favorite Christmas present, I don't know if you all can see this,
nope.
But it's a chain that goes to my glasses. I have a tendency to lay my glasses down and I can't find them. And I told them, I said, you know what I want for Christmas? I want a chain. And they were like, the girls were like, oh, old lady chain? I was like, I want a chain. It's going to be bomb. I wanted rhinestone and everything to go on my glasses. Lo and behold, Lovvy had already, he told me this later, he already purchased me one. So now I have a chain that goes on my glasses so I can lay them right here. So I'm excited about that. I just wanted to share that. So, okay, continue.
Points. Scoring points with the old lady.
Wow, the old lady.
Hey, so do us a favor. If you haven't already done so, go ahead, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, and tell a friend. Let your friends know about the Married Into Crazy podcast. And one of the easiest ways to do that is to refer them as you go to the site to marriedintocrazy.com. And there you'll be able to see all the different things. You'll be able to even access the app. There's a Married Into Crazy app. So you can take coaching on the go with you as well. There's actually an exclusive curriculum that's inside there. It's called Raise the Bar. That's belief, actions, results in your marriage. And there's 18 different modules that are in that, but it's included in the app, depending upon what level you actually get involved at. But also, you'll find that there is a tab on the website for the Married Into Crazy Winter Ball and Marriage Conference.
Marriage Conference, Winter Ball, February 6th and 7th. If you have not gotten your tickets, I don't know what you're waiting on. Let's go. Let's get it.
Let's go. It's coming up. We're excited. Everything's been locked down. We've got hotel blocks for rooms. We've got people flying in across the U.S. from Florida, Maryland, flying in from Los Angeles, from Southern California. We got other people that are coming from all over, and it's going to be a great time. We've got some amazing speakers, including 10-time Grammy Award-winning artist Joel Kibble of Take Six, who just came off their European tour. Joey's going to be coming in and sharing his knowledge base as it pertains to, if you really want to know.
Got to be there.
Got to be there. Be in the room and bring somebody. Don't bring somebody. Bring another couple with
please
you.
Please don't do that.
No third wheels.
Right. So get out there. I mean, get the couples that are invested in their marriage or those that are maybe need it because, oh my gosh, there's so many people that be like, oh, I know this person. I know this couple. They need y'all, blah, 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 whatever. So get those people online to get those tickets. We are going to have so much fun. Friday night, February 6th is the ball, Diamonds, Denim, and Dancing. And we're going to have Cree Robinson. How you say it? Robeson, sorry, got it wrong. She was one of the original Chicago Steppers, and she's going to be doing some soul line dancing. Y'all know that is so much fun when you learn those dances, but just, there's going to be freestyle too.
Well.
Exactly.
So we're going to have a DJ this year as opposed to the live band like last year. This year we're going to have that. And then on top of that, we've got great music by DJ Anointed, Mr. Monte McDaniels. And so he's going to be out there, spinning the vinyls and the ones and twos. And then there's going to be a great meal that's going to be provided as well for the banquet. Setting the mood for the next day, where we have 5 different sets of speakers, as well as food trucks that are going to be there, and vendors that are going to have some exclusive opportunities for you to get some marriage-focused or relationship-focused products or services. On top of that, this isn't just for married folk. This is also for those long-term committed couples that, have, for whatever reason, decided not to actually jump the broom, but are still committed to each other. This is all about building that relationship. Come as a couple, take some tools away, and, build your relationship.
Right.
With that said, we're going to get right into this. But before I do have to give a shout out to Lady Charmaine of 97.5 KDEE in Sacramento. So if you're in the Sacramento Valley area, got to let you know that on January 8th at 12:15 Pacific Standard Time, she has graciously allowed us to go on her show. She's bringing us in for an interview to specifically talk about the Married into Crazy Winter Ball and Marriage Conference. So we're looking forward to that. So Lady Charmaine, thank you. We look forward to actually seeing you on that day. You're an amazing lady. And it's a little quick plug. Lady Charmaine is going to be having a program for the women called Girlfriends in October of this year.
Next year. Oh.
Next year, 2026.
So I went to the one this year, and we had so much fun. Oh my gosh, it was a ball, you guys. So be looking out for that too. We'll get more information out for y'all as we get closer, when it's all
absolutely
planned.
So
and stuff.
Look, we know that 2025.
I'm so sorry. Just one more shout out. So before we get into it, I just want to make sure that I say happy anniversary to. We got a few couples that we want to say happy anniversary to. First of all, Cloyce and Sheila Dickerson. You all who came to the conference, you know that they spoke on being intentional at our conference. Their anniversary is January 1st.
And they have a very strong marriage ministry as well, called Married for Life Movement and Intentionally Yours, which we also belong to and we attend because we get tuned up.
And then happy 10-year anniversary to Terrence and Davina Hansford. T-Top and Davina. They are a wonderful couple that we be trying to emulate when we be getting in there working out. So if y'all want to know about fitness, y'all need to contact them, because we bad students. I think we don't be doing it like them. And then also Dominic and Malik Mullins. Their anniversary is January 6th. So we just want to say happy anniversary to you all. Y'all share our anniversary month, so we started the year out doing it right.
And for those of you that would love your anniversaries, your wedding anniversaries, to be shouted out on the Married into Crazy podcast, go ahead and email us. Email us. Reach out at info@marriedintocrazy.com. Let us know how long you've been married. You know what? As a matter of fact, give us a little bit of your love story as well. And you never know, we might invite you to be on as a guest also. But we love to shout out your anniversaries to let the world know that you're living large in your relationship. So let's do that. But look, 2025 it's gone. It's coming to a close. I say it's coming. It's here. That door is slowly closing.
That window too.
And as we approach the new year, everybody talks about, setting resolutions and goals. And we've done that in the past too. We've talked about vision boards. We've talked about setting goals. We've talked about all these different things and how you have to seek alignment with your spouse. And, and Snooks brought up a great question. Do we really need to be aligned?
Well, I mean, your goals, we need to be aligned, but what happens when you don't have the same goals? How do you show up in the relationship? And is there a need for us to have the same goals? Now, relationship goals, absolutely. I feel like you need to be in alignment, but sometimes you have business goals. Sometimes you have fitness goals, and they may be different than what your spouse has, so and that could cause some tension in a relationship.
So I could definitely see that. And look, we can talk from personal experience where I've had some pretty audacious goals for Married into Crazy.
Y'all see me looking over my glasses.
Look, we all know that it was my original brainchild. We had talked about it, and though we lived it, to actually become more transparent and to share, because we've shared some very, very intimate things with you over the last, however many years. Mm-hmm. Over the last, 8 years. Wow, 8 years.
It'll be 8 years, yeah.
It'll be 8 years in 2026. And in doing that, we had to, my goals were a little bit different than Snooks's. And we've got career goals. We've got, like she said, fitness goals. We've got different sex goals. Let's just keep it real. There's different things that come up, and how do you find alignment, or do you need to be? And I don't know that you necessarily need to be completely aligned with, like, oh, if your goal is this, then that must be my goal. We're not saying being robots, but I do think that there's a set of principles that rest as the foundation for pretty much all the goals, or many of them.
Yeah, I agree with that. Now, when I say that, I feel like you should be aligned. I'm talking about relationship. That's where the like-mindedness comes in. What I feel is important, what you feel is important, and then maybe, I don't want to say negotiate how we label it, or how we 1 through 10. What's the most important? We have to have a way to compromise, because my number 10 could be your number 1, and your number 5 could be my number 8, or whatever.
And I think that's where the Harris Intercept comes in. And for those of you that aren't familiar with the Harris Intercept, it's one of the couples that we've coached for quite a few years now. They came up with it. It's basically a Venn diagram, but they've done it so well that we've just decided to rename it the Harris Intercept, where they've done exactly that. Like, hey, these are my top priorities, my non-negotiables, the things that I absolutely positively need. And they've taken them individually and then layered them together to say, okay, well, where do we actually overlap? And, where don't we? And then they took it a step further to say, okay, well, let's look at those things that are where we overlap, the intercept. Are those really things that are true, that we can actually abide by, or at least adhere to? And those other things that lie outside of it, are they supposed to be outside? Can we negotiate? Do they need to be in? Let's talk about them a little bit more. And so they were very intentional about how they continue to build their relationship. And so I think that can be done with our goals as well. Like, I have a whole whiteboard with goals for faith, family, fitness, fortune, and the brand. And the brand being, the 9-to-5 gig, as well as our business ventures. And
I have no board.
She's right. She don't. She got papers everywhere.
I got papers everywhere. Anyway, don't be trying to bust me out like that. But I mean, to his point though, he's right. So I feel like even in saying that, you're more laser focused on what your goals are, or the goals for everything, where I'm like, I know what my goal is, and I know, what I want, blah, 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 whatever. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm going to say, oh, okay, but yeah, kind of, oh, okay. With everything except for school.
Right.
That was the one thing that I was like,
So I know she has it in her. I know she can do it. But yeah, she's a little bit more laissez-faire with her approach to some things. And
yeah.
And the reason why we bring all of this up is because we know there's a lot of discussions taking place across the entire world about setting goals for 2026. And there might be some negotiations taking place. We know people that own businesses. A couple of episodes ago, you just saw that we re-aired an interview that we did with OL and Sway. And they talked about how you can have 3 different types of entrepreneurs within a relationship. You can have, it was a singlepreneur, a couplepreneur, and a marriedpreneur. Whereas the singlepreneur was where one individual has their job, the other person has a business. and the other person has separate goals, but they support the spouse. Mm-hmm. Then you have the couplepreneur, where they each kind of run their own businesses, have their own either side gigs or just standalone opportunities. And even though they have separate goals, they do support each other as far as, spiritually, mentally praying for each other and doing whatever they can to make sure that the other ones are going to be successful. And then you have the marriedpreneurs that are in the same business like us together that are actually moving forward. But even as being a marriedpreneur in the same business, we can have very different goals about what we're trying to accomplish within MIC.
In the way in which to accomplish them.
And timelines.
I was going to say that, and timelines. And I mean, if we let it could be a major contention between us. It has been, keep it real. There have been times where it's like, okay, it's time to podcast. I don't feel like podcasting. I want to sit down. I want to do something else or whatever. And like, he's like, okay, we need a topic or whatever. And for a long stretch of time, the topics that we got or things that we talked about, they were his ideas because I didn't have any. And so when he presented them, I'm like, oh, okay. So now I need to, because I'm that person, I got to think about what I'm going to say about this. And he's ready to go. And I'm like, wait, hold on. I need to get myself together because I already be rambling. Y'all know that. But I don't want to get on here sound like an idiot either, So the contentious part is like he's ready right now. And if I would have had a topic, then I would have been ready right now. But the laissez-faire, as he calls it, kicks in. And there have been times, when we sat down and I had an attitude. Oh my gosh, I did not.
Y'all saw it. You saw it. I guarantee you saw it. For those of you that watch YouTube, if you're listening, check out the YouTube channel too.
Whatever, please don't. Whatever. But no, I did. I had attitude because I felt like, I'm like, dang, again, right now, whatever, and there have been moments where I felt like what you wanted to do was like always more important than what I want to do. And that would make me a little upset, but when we sat down in the beginning, like I said, there's attitude. But halfway through, I'm cool. I'm whatever. It's like almost, how getting out of bed is the hard part of getting ready for work or whatever. Once I'm dressed, I'm good. But it's that get up part. So that was kind of like the get in the chair part for me,
And that's as it relates to the business. But there's other things. Let's talk about nutrition and fitness and so forth. There's times where one of us has been on a journey. Nutrition journey. Let's say like when I wanted to go paleo, or like back when I did 75 hard. I've done 75 hard a couple of times. And when I did 75 hard, it was difficult because I'm trying to be very strict on how I'm eating and what I'm drinking and what time I go to bed, what time I get up, how many times I work out and so forth. And they're just eating chips and, oh, let's order a pizza, and then I come home and everybody's got, whatever. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. And so it makes it so much harder to actually stay on goal when they're doing something completely different.
So, and the funny part about that is, I won't say funny part because yes, that did happen, but I always made sure that you had your stuff to eat also. We never ever, he acted like he was abused. We never ever just sat and chewed food and chips and cookies or whatever in front of him.
Oh, that's a lie. Now, she did make sure I had my food, but then they would sit like right in the same room.
No, we're not. Yeah, we're eating. Haha, you can't have it. We didn't do that.
No, you didn't do that. You can't have it, but you ate it. Look,
can't eat.
Once the food enters the house, you can smell it. I'm sitting here trying to eat, some.
That's why it's
baked
called
chicken and some brown rice.
That's why it's called
broccoli.
75 hard. Hard. You got to be tough.
Eli, I need 75 soft.
I did 75 soft.
Chief Eli, I need 75 soft.
But that's a very good point because we will start out like, okay, we're going to be serious about blah, 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 whatever. And we would be equally yoked in that area for, I'm going to say 7 days, maybe. I'm keep it real. Maybe about 7 days, both of us are doing the thing. We're doing it. And then by like day 8, one of us slips off in some area. It could be for me, I slip off with eating. It could be for him, he slips off with exercise or whatever, So we're never, I'm gonna say we never have, but it's been difficult, challenging, I should say, for us to keep it going at the same time. But I feel like I'm respectful of when you fall off.
Exactly.
He's not respectful when I fall off. I'm just going to say that.
Wow.
You are not. He shames me. Oh, I thought you was doing blah, blah, blah. Oh, what are you doing? Oh, you're eating that? Oh, okay.
You know what? You open up a good door because she may be right. I can neither confirm nor deny the accuracy of the statements that have been made on this show.
You are not Mission Impossible. We're not doing that.
But I will say that, but where we found success, when we have found success, it's because we've enlisted the assistance of the other individual and gained buy-in on how we will actually do the nudging to assist each other. It's like, look, okay, I'm going to do X, Y, Z. And when I'm doing this, if I fall off or you start to see me go by the wayside, can you just nudge me? Can you get me back in? And by asking the other person to participate, at least in that manner, it's not as harsh. And it seems to be easier to actually participate.
Really? He says nudge. He pulls my coat collar or whatever, coattail, something like that. You don't nudge. You just go for the gusto right in the jugular. No, I'm kidding.
Wow.
I'm kidding. No. But that is a thing. We have to make sure, if it's not equal, that before you say something, you already have the buy-in of the other person. And that's the accountability piece, right? And there have been couples who have said, oh, yeah, we're supposed to be doing this together. And then the wife may shame him in a way like, see, that's why you ain't never did it. I mean, and that breaks down the person. Or the husband says, that's why you, whatever, y'all know what I mean. But figure out what's the best way to approach it. How would you like me to tell you that, hey, what are you doing? How would you like me to question that? How would you like me to kind of reel you back in? Because if I come at you or you come at me kind of belligerently, like, in a put me down kind of way, now my defenses are up and I'm finna eat all the cookies. You know what I'm saying?
In front of you, I'm gonna leave crumbs in the bed.
And everything.
On your pillow.
Right. Drinking all my wine. No.
See, and I think this comes back to, regardless of what your goals are going to be for the new year or for your life going forward, that there's a basic premise that you'll find in Atomic Habits by James Clear. And one of the things that James Clear, is probably one of his most famous quotes, is that you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. And when you're setting these goals, if you put a system in place for whatever it is you're going to do, but as you're putting the system in place, before you actually enact it, discuss it with your spouse. And say, hey, you know what? This is my process. I'm going to get up at this time. I'm going to work out, or I'm going to do X amount of work, at this time. If I'm, writing a book for this hour on Wednesdays and Fridays, I'm going to block this time so I can actually sit down and write or paint or whatever it may be, whatever your goals may be, take X goal and put it in here. But whatever it is, you develop a system that's going to allow you to find success in that and bring in your spouse. Doesn't mean they're going to have the same goal with you, but if they understand and have some familiarity with your system, though they're not participating like actively, they can indirectly be able to have some accountability for you when it comes to that. So even though they're not really, going with you stride for whatever that may be, they're at least participating in the accountability piece because you've brought them in on your system. And if you can do that, if your system can be solid, then regardless of what comes at you during the time frame from which you want to get these goals accomplished, because things are going to happen. Life's going to life. Mm-hmm. And when that happens, you're not going to rise to the level of your goals. You will fall to the level of your system.
And just the part about incorporating or bringing in your spouse, they don't feel so left out either. That in that indirect way, that helps them be part of the whole process. Because I know that there are people who they got gung-ho spouses on whatever it is, and the spouse is running, doing, and they feel left out. Like, oh, I'm an outsider because I don't know what you're doing, or I don't know how to do that, or what that process is. By including them in some small way, they're not doing what you're doing, but they're being included. You're sharing, and that's the part that keeps you connected, I feel like.
Agreed. So like tomorrow, actually tonight, we're starting the 21 sex everyday challenge, and I've included her in my system.
First of all, who else are you going to include? I wish you would. I was like, 21, what are you talking about? We ain't doing no David Fast. 21.
And so that way, you know what? I don't know that I'm always going to rise to the level of my goals. But if she knows my system, she could participate in my system. No, I'm just playing. But, you got to have fun with it, And I think that is what's going to allow you to have success in 2026, regardless of what the goal is, whether it's your finances, your fitness, whatever it is you're doing. So keep that in mind.
And also, I just kind of want to, we talk about crazy. We always give you the acronym, compassionate, real, accountable, zealous, and yielding. In doing the daily things with your spouse and goals and stuff like that, make sure that you're being compassionate to your spouse. You're being real about what your expectations are. You hold each other accountable. Be zealous in cheering that person on, and be yielding when there's a problem or you can't do or whatever. I don't know how you could be yielding in that, but you could say something. Could be yielding.
Like today, like this topic that we're talking about right now. This wasn't the topic that I had prepared and printed and made copies of.
Wow.
And had bullet points and no, but Snooks came and says, I really feel like I really wanted to talk about this instead, and so there was a place for me to yield and say, okay, you know what, let's do it. And I feel like that's and you're participating, but there's always going to be an opportunity for every one of those parts of the acronym that will always show up in your relationship. I don't care what area of your life you're talking about. There will be an opportunity to be more compassionate, real, accountable, zealous, and yielding.
Mm-hmm. And I just feel like maybe we should start talking more about that, because those 5 pillars are the things that really saved us. I'll say it. I had to learn to be compassionate about his stance with my in-laws. I had to learn real expectations, because we've shared before, my mom didn't raise me to be no wife. I was raised by a single woman, and the but the message was, you take care of yourself, you always have your own, and blah, blah, blah. And these are based off of her own experiences. Now, mind you, my grandparents stayed married until my grandfather passed away. So it's not that my mom didn't come from a loving household and she saw my grandfather providing, blah, blah, blah. But unfortunately, when she got married, she didn't have what my grandmother had, so she taught me something different, take care, blah, 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 whatever. So I came into the relationship like, I got I got this, not knowing how to really yield.
Fellas, you know the type.
The type that you're attracted to, but when you get us, then you like, oh, she, whatever.
She's so much work.
Oh, wow. And some people do say that too, but just learning how to be more, like I said, I had to learn how to be compassionate and stay zealous. I feel like that's my favorite one. Stay zealous in your relationship, because so many times, y'all know how it is in the beginning. We love each other. Oh, I can't wait to talk to him. I can't wait to see him. Oh, I'm about to go get her. We're going to do all this, that, whatever.
The honeymoon phase.
And then after the fact, it's over. I see her phone number coming up. What do you got to say now on this text message? Oh, God, here he come, or here she come. What now? that's not being zealous, And like Lovvy said, life be lifing, but don't let life so much that you're not zealous for your partner.
I can say something now?
Wow.
And yielding. No, I've already hammered on that. We've talked about it quite a bit. No, but there's always an opportunity for us to actually yield and give way to our spouse for whatever it may be. So, I said 21 day sex challenge. She might want, 30 days, and I'd have to yield to her in order to give her what she wants, what she demands. And that's being a good husband. That's being a good spouse.
Wow. Okay.
No. So I know we joke all the time, and it's just a standing thing that we laugh about all the time. But
because never mind, go ahead.
No, but hey, look, we wish you nothing but continued success, continued favor, continued prosperity in health, fitness, finances, love, parenting, the whole 9 yards. We want you to have it all in 2026 going forward, and we hope that we can actually walk on this journey together. And one of the ways that you can do that is by starting off the year very well with the 2026 Married into Crazy Winter Ball and Marriage Conference.
Yeah. I just want to say before we get out of here too, I appreciate everybody, every one of y'all who rock with us, who have been for a very long time. Excuse me.
Or short timers.
Or short time. Just the fact that you are. And I don't know why, but I get amazed when I meet someone. They're like, yeah, I listen to your podcast. I'm like, you do? Like, it's exciting for me to know that people listen to us. So I just thank you, because we do put our hearts into it, even when I'm mad, when I got to sit on this couch.
And if you ever wonder, like, well, why do they do that? They're trying to make money. It's not even about that.
We do not make money. It's
not even about that. It's a calling that we've both received. And it's interesting where we both got that calling from the Lord, and that I brought you through this, and it's now up to you to kind of usher and share with others. Mm-hmm. So if they're dealing with this, that you can actually provide windows, doors, nooks and crannies for them to get through as well, so they can continue to build their relationship. And it's a blessing to us, and it's actually therapeutic for us also.
Yeah. And that what we say, as sharp as iron sharpens iron, we as couples should be sharpening each other, because there is nothing more I don't want to say distracting, but there's nothing worse than going out with another couple or a few couples, and all they do is complain about each other, and everybody's got attitude or whatever. We want to hang out with folks who like to hang out with their spouse. And that's one of the reasons why we do this. We can meet with people and connect, and we have a good time because love makes the world go round.
Absolutely. We just had,
should anyway.
3 other couples, over to the house.
Yeah.
Was it 2 couples, 3 couples?
It was 3.
Yeah, we had 3 other newlyweds, all newlyweds.
Yeah, we went to 3 weddings in 2025, y'all.
And we invited those 3 individuals, those 3 couples, to come over, and we served them food and dinner, and sat in the formal area for a little while, and just talked, and kept it real. And it was just. It's something that we thrive on. It's something that we love to do. And as much as we're told that we bless others, it's an absolute blessing to us as well.
Yeah. I was on a high for a while after that. So
yeah. So you know what? We invite you to continue to rocking with us in the Married into Crazy podcast in 2026. We're always going to strive to make things interesting, better, bringing you interesting couples, interesting topics, and subject matter experts to ensure that we're giving you resources that help you elevate your relationship. So until the next time,
be blessed.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Married into Crazy podcast with Snooks and Lovvy. Please like, subscribe to, and review the show wherever you access it, and tell a friend about us. Visit marriedintocrazy.com and see how Snooks and Lovvy can bless your marriage directly.